Good morning, students. So, this is the 10th class IIT class. So, in volume 1, there is a chapter, the first chapter. The first chapter is partial fractions. So now we are discussing this chapter. The name of the topic is partial fractions. So what is partial fractions? So what we have to discuss in this chapter? First of all, before going to partial fractions, we want some previous knowledge. What is it? The first one is we have to know about polynomial. What is this? Polynomial. Do you know what is a polynomial? So we have already discussed it in 9th class Pearson syllabus and also quadratic equations in IIT syllabus. So a polynomial is a algebraic expression. Alright? Polynomial is a algebraic expression. The variables involved in that having non-negative integral powers. What is the word? Non-negative integral powers. What is that? Non-negative integral power means the powers of the variables. For example, I am writing one example. X cube plus x square minus 9, and I am writing another example, x to the power of 2 by 3 plus x minus x plus 9 or x plus 6. Another example, x to the power of x plus 1 by x. Observe these three examples. So the first polynomial having a variable x. Here the variable is x. In the first, it has three terms. The first term, the exponent of the x is 3, and here 2. In the second example, the exponent of x here 2 by 3. Here 1. The same way, the exponent of x here 1, here minus 1. Do you know how it is minus 1? Do you know? So 1 by x means x to the power of minus 1. Their power is minus 1. In these three examples, observe the powers. Powers means exponents of variables. So here 3, 2 both are positive numbers and those are the integers. Then this is a polynomial. Do you understand? Coming to the second example, the power of x here 2 by 3 and here is 1. So we are defining the definition of a polynomial. The variables having the powers non-negative integrals. Non-negative means those are positive and they must be an integers. Simply we are telling non-negative integers means positive integers, that means positive numbers. So here if you observe 2 by 3 is not a positive integer. Positive integer, this is a rational number. So we are telling this is not a polynomial. Am I right? So now observe this here. The power of x here 1, here minus 1. If you observe, here 1 is okay, here the power of second x is minus 1. Minus 1 is a negative number. This is not a non-negative integral power. This is a negative term. So then this is not a polynomial. Alright. So these are the next. The polynomials are classified by their terms and degrees. So we know very well about the types of polynomials according to their degree. For example, the first one is the degree of a polynomial is 1. The degree of a polynomial is 1, then the polynomial is called linear polynomial. Alright, the degree of a polynomial is 1, then the polynomial is called linear polynomial. And the degree of a polynomial is 2, then this is a quadratic polynomial. The degree of a polynomial is 3, then the name of the polynomial is cubic polynomial. The degree of a polynomial is 4, the name of the polynomial is biquadratic polynomial. And there are some names. Degree of a polynomial is 5, another something. So the degree of a polynomial is 1 is called linear polynomial. The degree of a polynomial is 2 is called quadratic polynomial. The degree of a polynomial is 3 is called cubic polynomial. The degree of a polynomial is 4 is called quadratic polynomial. So move like this. The degree of a polynomial is 0. The degree of a polynomial is 0, then the polynomial is called constant polynomial. Those are the numbers. Constant means numbers, numericals, our numbers. The degree of a polynomial is 0 is called constant polynomials. So the polynomial. So I think you know very well about polynomial definition. Polynomial means the powers, the powers of the variables must be non-negative integral powers. These are the examples. So in your notes you have to write 5 to 6 examples for polynomials. So 2 to 3 examples for which are not polynomials. And we have to memorize these are all these things. The degree of the types of polynomials based on degree. Degree is the most important. Based on degree, the first one, the degree of a polynomial is 0, then the polynomial is constant polynomial. The degree of a polynomial is 1 is called linear polynomial, 2 is called quadratic polynomial, 3 is called cubic polynomial, 4 is called biquadratic polynomial. So the polynomials are also called as the functions. It is denoted by p of x. P of x is a polynomial as well as it is a function. So I'm asking a question to you. Can you write the polynomial with nth degree? Nth degree polynomial. So why I am asking? So do you know the general form of a linear equation? Linear equation with the degree 1. You can write. Do you know? What is that? Ax plus b. So the degree of a polynomial is 2, then the polynomial is quadratic polynomial. So you can write the general formula, that is ax square plus bx plus c. What the degree of a polynomial is 3, their general form is ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d. The same way you can write the biquadratic polynomial, ax to the power of 4 plus bx cube plus cx square plus dx plus c. Now I am asking a question to you. The question is, can you write the polynomial with nth degree? Nth degree. So you have to write a polynomial with nth degree. Polynomial రాయాలి. ఆ polynomial యొక్క degree ఎంత ఉండాలంటే n ఉండాలి. So here, if you observe here, the degree of the polynomial is 4. Here 3, here 2, here 1, here 0. I am asking the degree of a polynomial is n. Can you write? So here, if you observe here, there are some letters are there. Except forget about x is a variable. There are some letters A, B, here C, here D, here D. What are these? What are these? A, B, C, D, E. What are that? A, B, C, D, E. You simply say that these are the coefficients. These are the coefficients. A is the coefficient of here x. Here A is the coefficient of x square. A is the coefficient of x cube. A is the coefficient of x to the power of 4. So I am asking, what are A, B, C, D, E? These are the real numbers. These are the real numbers. The coefficients, okay? A is the in the particular way in this particular equation. A is the exponent of x to the power of 4. Here a is the exponent of x cube, here x square, here x. But what are a, b, c? A, b, c are the real numbers. So real number means either a rational number or irrational. So can you write the general form of these polynomials by using, instead of a, b, c, d, e, can you write a1, a2, a3, a4 and so on? a1, a2, a3, a4 and so on. So we can write. Now we are writing. So we have to try yourself first. Write the polynomial with nth degree. I am writing. The degree of a polynomial is n. That the polynomial is denoted by polynomial or function. We can use the both where we can get. So p of x is equal to. First of all, I am starting with a0. Why? Because I told you I am using a0, a1, a2, a3, a4. Before coming to here, we have to start all these equations with a1, a2, a0, a1, a2, a4. That means this is a0 x plus b. This is a0 x square plus a1 x plus c. Like not c. So another letter a0 x square plus a1 x plus h, like that. So you can practice these four. Then you can come here. So if you observe here, the degree of a polynomial is 1. That's why you are writing x. You understand? The degree of a polynomial is 2. That's why you are writing x square. The degree of a polynomial is 3. That's why you are writing x cube. 4 x to the power of 4, 5 x to the power of 4, 6 x to the power of 6, 10 x to the power of 10, 100 x to the power of 100. Now we are writing nth degree. So a0 x to the power of n plus. So a0 you have used. So now we are coming to a1. I am starting with a1. So observe these four examples. Here the degree of an exponent x is here 1, here 0. There is no x, that means here x to the power 0 is there. That means decreasing 1 to 0. Here 2 to 1, 3 to 2, 4 to 3. So now I am writing x to the power of decreased by 1. N is decreased by 1 means x to the power of n minus 1. You understand? So now write the next term with a2. a2. So if you observe here, here now terms here 2 to 1, 1 to 0. 3 to 2, 2 to 1, 1 to 0. 4 to 3, 3 to 2, 2 to 1, 1 to 0. That means the powers are decreased by 1. Decreased by 1. That means here x to the power of n minus 2 plus a3 x to the power of n minus 3 plus. So we can write as our way and so on. I am writing the last term with a0. an means the nth term. What is the nth term? Can you guess? Can you guess what is the nth term? So if you observe these four examples, you can get easy. You can get easily. Why? Because the last term is x to the power of 0 means 1. That means there is a constant term. Here c is the constant term. There is no x. Here this is the constant term. So this is an. That is an means the complete sense of an is an into x to the power of 0. X to the power of 0 is 1. That's why an. You understand? So here an x to the power of n, a1 x to the power of n minus 1, a2 x to the power of n minus 2, a3 x to the power of n minus 3 plus and so on. So here the last term is an. You have to write yourself what is the term before an. You have to write yourself. And write one more example before the an minus 1. An minus 1 here, an, the before term is, you have to think about yourself. And write one more term before the an minus 1. Here, so we have a doubt. What are that? a0, a1, a2 and so on, an. What are these? What are these? a0, a1, a2, a3, a4 and so on, an. These are the, you are telling a0 is the exponent of x to the power of n. You are telling me here the same, but that is not correct. a1, a2, a3, a4 all are real numbers. The same way here. Here observe here. A, B, C, D, E is belongs to R means real numbers. Real number is either rational number or irrational. The same way A naught, A1, A2, A3 and so on An is belongs to R. R means a real number. Here, so we have so many coefficients from A naught to An. The one coefficient must should not be a 0. Which one should not be a 0? Is A naught or A1, A2? The condition is the most important. The condition is here A naught is not equal to 0. That is the condition. A naught is not equal to 0. If A naught is 0, think like that. If A naught is 0, so there is no x to the power of m term. There is no x to the power of n term. That means we are starting from A1 x to the power of n minus 1 plus A2 x to the power of n minus 2. That means then the degree of the polynomial is n minus 1. Because the highest power is x to the power of n minus 1. X to the power of n minus 1 is our degree. But our question is, we have to write the polynomial with nth degree. So we have to memorize this. If you know this step, you can memorize. Otherwise, you have to practice 2 to 3 times. This is very important, and this is very easy. There is no tough stuff. So if you observe these 4, you can get easily. So if the 4 above practices there, you can get these very easily. Why? Because x to the power of n minus 1. So the powers are decreasing. The coefficients are increasing, A0, A1, A2, A3. So the most important steps are the coefficients of x to the power of n. A0 is not equal to 0 and A0, A1, A2, A3 and so on. An belongs to R. An, these are the real numbers. Do you understand? So we have to memorize all these things. Starts from the polynomial definition and the degrees, based on degrees, their types and the degree of nth degree polynomials general. So our chapter is partial fractions. We are discussing about polynomials. How it is here? We can go. So I'm referring to that. So polynomial completed. So we have to learn one more topic, that is rational fraction. Rational fraction. So if you see the heading, rational fraction. So fraction means we are feeling very happy because of, so we start from 3rd class to up to now. The fraction is a very important chapter and very easy chapter here. But what is rational fraction? The fraction means fraction having 2 terms. Both those are numerator by denominator. Here we are discussing the fractions for polynomials or functions. So we are taking, let 2 polynomials or 2 functions, those are f of x and g of x. What is f of x, what is g of x? These 2 are the polynomials or functions. F of x is a function and g of x is also a function. So for example, if these 2 are numbers, we are thinking about f of x is 1, g of x is 2. So can you write a rational form? Rational form, what is the definition of a rational number? The numbers which are in the form of p by q. That means if we have the numbers 1, 2, we are writing 1 by 2. 1 by 2 is a rational number. The same way, we have the 2 functions we are writing in the form of rational. That means it is denoted by f of x by g of x. F of x by g of x. F of x by g of x is a rational fraction. Rational fraction. So this, for example, if you observe in the place of f of x a number, we are getting it. For example, we have to apply 2. The same way, the g of x is 3. Then 2 by 3 is a, in our way, a fraction. The same way we are we are discussing like earlier classes, 2 by 3 is also a rational number. The number which are in the form of p by q, 2 by 3 is a p by q, where denominator q is not equal to 0. The same way, here the most important condition is the denominator g of x is not equal to 0. This is a rational fraction. Rational fractions means, rational fraction, the two functions are divisible. If you divide two functions, you are getting some quotient. Sometimes you are getting the remainder, or sometimes the remainder should be a 0. We are getting a quotient. So if you divide two polynomials, you are getting, definitely you are getting a quotient, and the remainder sometimes it should be a 0 or any other some other numbers. So the rational fractions means f of x by g of x is a rational fraction form. F of x by g of x is a rational fraction form. The denominator g of x is not equal to 0. So think about it. If g of x is equal to 0, what will happen? If g of x is equal, if the condition is g of x is not equal to 0, okay, we are happy. Denominator g of x and 0 kaapadu. 0 aithe paristhiti. If denominator g of x is equal to 0, what will happen? The whole fraction is not defined. Not defined means we can't find the value. Mana value man define cheyalemu kabatti the denominator g of x should not be a 0. Are you okay? Are you okay? Rational form f of x and g of x are the two functions. The rational fraction form is f of x by g of x. F of x is a function, g of x is another function. If the denominator g of x is not, should not be the most important condition, g of x is not equal to 0. So if you think about yourself, apply your brain. If g of x is equal to 0, what will happen? Try yourself. So then if you divide two polynomials, the two polynomials are two functions, so you are getting some quotient and some remainder. Sometimes the remainder should be a 0, sometimes it not be a 0. Okay? So the third topic, there is no heading, but we are discussing this topic. That is, so in the rational fraction, we are dividing two functions. F of x is a function and g of x is a function. Based on the, so we are calling it, these are the functions or polynomials, our wish, our convenience. So every polynomial has degree. Based on degree, their types we have already discussed. So f of x has some degree, and the same way g of x also having some degree. If the degree of f of x is less than the degree of g of x, the degree of f of x is less, the degree of f of x is less than g of x, and f of x యొక్క degree g of x కంటే తక్కువగా ఉంటే, then the fraction is called proper fraction. Then the fraction is called proper fraction. Proper fraction means the degree of f of x. F of x is the numerator. The numerator, the degree of the numerator is less than the denominator. So manam ide fraction chapter, that the definition of the proper fraction is numerator is less than the denominator, then the fraction is called proper fraction. The same way we are adding the word, just a simple word, degree. The degree of f of x is less than the degree of g of x, then the fraction is called proper fraction. Can we write the examples? Can we write? So we can write plenty of examples. I am writing 2. In your notes we have to write 5 to 10 examples for better understanding. For example, I am writing the first example. 1 by x plus 5. 1 by x plus 5. Is this proper fraction? What is the definition? The degree of f of x is less than degree of g of x. What is the degree of 1? 1 is a constant term. Here the degree of the numerator is 0, and the denominator x plus 5 is the g of x, the degree of the x plus 5 is 1. So 0 is less than 1. So then it is a proper fraction. Okay, for example, I am writing one more example. X cube by x square plus 1 into x square minus 4. Is this proper fraction or not? Think about it. First, the numerator. What is the degree of the numerator? Is 3. Clearly there is both x cube means the power of x is 3. So the degree of the numerator is 3. So the denominator. What is the degree of the denominator? Here, so no need to multiply x square with x square with 4, x square, 1 with x square, 1 with minus 4. So we just have to know that what is the highest power of x. That means we have to multiply x square and x square. X square and x square is x to the power of 4. So the degree of the denominator is 4. We are telling 3 is less than 4. So then it is a proper fraction. The degree of the numerator f of x is less than the degree of denominator g of x. Then the fraction is called proper fraction. Are you okay? So in your notes, I told you 2 examples. We have to write 3 to 5 examples, 3, 4, 5, or as you wish, up to write 10 examples also, not a problem. So for better understanding, the proper fraction is the most important. We are starting from the, we have to start the chapter from the proper fractions to partial fractions. So the proper fraction is the most important. So the second case, for example, the numerator f of x, is greater than g of x, are equal to g of x. Okay. The degree of f of x is greater than or equal to g of x. The degree of f of x is greater than g of x. The degree of f of x is equal to g of x. Can you guess the name of the fraction? That is improper fraction. Improper. Proper fraction means denominator is big, and the improper fraction means numerator is the big. So can you write the examples of improper fraction? I think you write very well, but I will tell you 2 to 3 examples. So observe one thing here. Not only greater. Greater means f of x is the greater, g of x is the smaller, then it is improper fraction. We know well about that. The same way, the degree of f of x and the degree of g of x are equal. The degree of f of x and the degree of g of x are equal. Then they are also improper fractions. Then they are also improper fractions. Can we write the examples of improper fraction? The same way I will tell you 2. You have to write yourself nearly up to 10 or for 6 or 5. Write a toughest example. It's not a simple example. Not like this. For example, I am explaining you. For example, x square plus 5x minus 6 by x plus 2. If you observe these two, x square plus 5x minus 6. This is a quadratic polynomial or quadratic function. How can you say that? The degree of the polynomial is 2. Numerator is 2 and the denominator is 1. So we are confidently say that 2 is greater than 1. Then the fraction is called improper fraction. The same way, for example, I am writing another example. So there is no space, I am writing here. The second example here, that is x cube minus 1 by x minus 1 into x plus 2 into x minus 3. If you observe this example, here the numerator x cube minus 1, the highest power of x is 3, so the degree of the polynomial is 3. Are you okay? Observe the denominator x into x into x. This is also x cube. Am I right? So the degree of the polynomial is also, the function is also 3. Both are equal. 3 is equal to 3. Then this is also improper fraction. Improper fraction. So ఇవన్నీ మనకి ఆల్రెడీ ఫ్రాక్షన్ చాప్టర్లో ప్రాపర్ ఫ్రాక్షన్ అంటే ఏంటి, ఇంప్రాపర్ ఫ్రాక్షన్ అంటే ఏంటి మనం ఒక మేబీ స్టార్టింగ్ ఫ్రమ్ థర్డ్ క్లాస్ నుంచి చదువుతూనే ఉన్నాం. కానీ ఇక్కడ చిన్న విషయం ఏంటి సార్ అంటే ఇవి ఫంక్షన్స్కి ఎలాగా. ప్రాపర్ ఫ్రాక్షన్ న్యూమరేటర్ is small, denominator is big. But here we are discussing functions. We are based on degrees. The degree of f of x is less than the degree of g of x. Same way, the degree of f of x is greater than or equal to, either greater or equal to g of x, then it is a improper fractions. So I think you understand very well. So we have, I told you again. So write, I am writing 2 examples. You have to write yourself nearly 3 to 4 examples or 5 examples as you wish in your notes. You have to write the notes also. So the same way, keep the heading here, improper fractions, the definition of the improper fraction. You have to frame the sentences. You have to frame the sentences. And you have to write the, I am writing 2 examples, here 1, here 2. You have to write 2 to 3 more, 2 to 3 examples. Okay, did you understand? Shall we move to the next topic? Okay, thank you. The next topic. For example, I am writing 2 proper fractions. I am writing 2 proper fractions. Those are 2 by x plus 3. Is this proper fraction? Is this proper fraction? Come on. 5 by x minus 2. 5 by x minus 2. Is this proper fraction? Yes. So I am taking 2 proper fractions. If you add these 2, what will you get? If you subtract these 2, what will you get? You understand? The sum of 2 proper fractions, not only 2, 3, 4, 5, what is the result? The same way, if you subtract 2 proper fractions, what will you get? Is this proper fraction or improper fraction? We'll see. We'll discuss. So I am taking 2 proper fractions. First of all, I am adding these 2. I am adding. First of all, 2 plus x plus 3 plus 5 by x minus 2. 2 by x plus 3 plus 5 by x minus 2. Now I am adding these 2 fractions. So are you ready? What is LCM? These are the 2 different things. So their product is our LCM. So I am writing x plus 3 into x minus 2 is the LCM. X plus 3 into x minus 2 is the LCM. So if the first term x plus 3 here, there is no x minus 2. That means 2 into x minus 2 plus, you can write easy, you can do easy, 5 into x plus 3. So multiplication, 2x minus 4 plus 5x plus 15 by, shall we do the denominator also? Okay, you can, x square plus 3x minus 2x minus x. This is right, x square plus 3x plus 3x minus 2x minus x. Okay, that's correct. So simplify the numerator. 2x plus 5x, 7x plus 11 by x square plus x minus 6. Observe this is. Observe that. X square plus 2x plus 5x, 7x. 15 minus 4, 11 by x square minus plus x minus 6. So is this proper fraction or improper fraction? Is this proper or improper? This is absolutely the proper fraction. Why it is proper, sir? The numerator, the degree of the numerator is 1, the degree of the denominator is 2. F of x is less than g of x, then this is a proper fraction. So what can you conclude? We can conclude that the sum of two proper fractions, two or more proper fractions is also a proper fraction. Do you understand? What can you conclude? The sum of two or more proper fraction is also a proper fraction. Do you understand? So that means if you add two proper fractions, we are getting the same proper fraction. So you have to think, I am writing one thing, that is 7x plus 11 by x square plus x minus 6 is equal to 2 by x plus 3 plus 5 by x minus 2. Is this right or wrong? Is this right or wrong? Is this right? The sum of two proper fractions is our answer. Our answer is equal to their sum. Our answer is equal to their sum. Is this right? Yes, absolutely right. That means the sum of two proper fractions is a proper fraction. A proper fraction can be expressed as the sum of two or more proper fractions. That means converse. The sum of two or more proper fractions is also a proper fraction. రెండు లేదా అంతకంటే ఎక్కువ ప్రాపర్ ఫ్రాక్షన్స్ యాడ్ చేస్తే ప్రాపర్ ఫ్రాక్షన్ వస్తుంది. A proper fraction can be expressed as the sum of two or more proper fractions. You understand? I am repeating again and again. A proper fraction can be expressed as the sum of two or more proper fractions. This method, this process is called decompose. So, once wait. The proper fraction can be expressed as the sum of two or more proper fractions. Each proper fraction is called our chapter partial fraction. Did you understand this? So, చెప్తున్నప్పుడే మీకు చేయలేక the sum of two or more proper fractions is also a proper fraction. A proper fraction can be expressed as the sum of two proper fractions. Each of them is called partial fractions. Each of them is called partial fraction. This is the partial fraction. 2 by x plus 3 is a partial fraction. 5 by x minus 2 is a partial fraction. That is our chapter of partial fractions. Partial fractions. So this method, that method means, so a proper fraction can be expressed into two or more proper fractions. This method is called decomposition of f of x by g of x. The decomposition means separating. The decomposition of f of x by g of x. ఇక్కడ ఒక టర్మ్ ని f of x by g of x గా ఉన్న ఒక టర్మ్ ని మనం ఏం చేసామంటే f of x by gx plus f of x by gx గా మార్చేస్తాం. So did you understand? So this is the way. So if you write any two proper fractions, not only these, if you want to take the x by x square by x cube, x to the power of 5 x to the power of 10, whatever you take, the final answer should be a proper fraction. So we are taking two proper fractions. Each fraction is called a partial fraction. This is the partial fraction. This is the partial fraction. Do you understand? Do you understand? This is the most important thing. So this is the definition of our topic. What is the definition of a topic? Means a proper fraction can be expressed as two or more proper fractions. Each proper fraction is called a partial fraction. Is called a partial fraction. This method is called decomposition. The process of doing this process is decomposition of f of x by g of x. F of x by g of x ni decompose chesestam. Are you okay? Shall I erase this? For example, I am taking another example. F of x by g of x is an improper fraction. This is an improper fraction. F of x by g of x is an improper fraction. Improper fraction means the denominator is small and the numerator is big. Alright? So, if you divide an improper fraction, you will get some quotient and the remainder. The quotient and the remainder. That means we are writing like this: f of x by g of x is equal to. For example, I tell you, I will write the formula by an example. For example, I am writing x square plus 1 by x minus 1. X square plus 1 by x minus 1. So we are dividing by long division method. X square plus 1 with x minus 1. Taking x times x minus 1. Sorry. X square minus x. Minus plus these two are cancelled. X plus 1. You are taking one time x minus 1. That means minus plus these two are the cancel. You are getting some remainder. This is right. X square minus x. These two are cancelled. Here plus x plus 1. Taking one time x minus 1. This is the guy. So here this is the quotient and we are getting some remainder. This is, what is that? Dividend. Sorry, divisor. This is dividend. This is the division algorithm. Dividend is equal to quotient into divisor plus remainder. So we are writing some quotient. We are getting some quotient and the remainder. Alright? You are writing some remainder r of x plus we are writing that is q of x by of x. Q of x by f of x. So I am changing some like somehow like this. How it is in there. Change mistake in there. First of all, you are getting quotient. Quotient you are writing completely. Quotient plus remainder r of x by, what is that? The function. We are dividing g of x. So that is g of x. Try to understand this. Try to understand this. That is very easy. Nothing difficult. If you divide f of x by g of x, we are getting some remainder, some quotient. For example, we are getting 5. Plus you are getting some other number. Why you are getting some other number? We have a remainder 2. So we want to do the division up to 0. You will get the some addition of the quotient. Some additional part of the quotient. Am I right? So if you want, I'm not talking about this. For example, if you want to do the numbers, So you don't want to the remainder 2, you are keeping it dot. So we apply the 0. That means we are adding some additional part of the quotient. The additional part of the quotient is depending upon f of remainder by g of x. Remainder ni g of x divide chesthe kada part add ayyedi. The same thing I am writing quotient, the quotient plus remainder by the divisor. Remainder by divisor. If you add 1, the quotient plus 1. If the quotient is 5, 5 plus 1 is 6. Like that. Did you understand? I think you understand very well. So f of x by g of x is an improper fraction. This is the most important point. Most important point. We have many problems from this formula. F of x by g of x is a improper fraction. If you want to divide improper fractions, you are getting some quotient plus if you get the remainder 0, the quotient will be stopped. Otherwise, if you want the remainder, you should not get the 0, you are getting 2. If you want 0, you are adding some additional part. The additional part is depending upon the remainder by the g of x. The g of x is denominator, g of x. That's why I wrote here. F of x by g of x is equal to quotient plus r of x by g of x. Are you okay? Are you okay? F of x by g of x. Okay. So once again I am reminding again, f of x by g of x is improper fraction. If you want to divide these two, you are getting f of x by g of x is equal to quotient plus r of x by g of x. R of x is the remainder, g of x is the divisor. Are you okay? Next. Now we are step into our problems and the methods. You have to keep the heading, be careful. This is not in our textbook. Types of partial fractions depend upon the nature of the factors of denominator. Types of partial fractions. We are discussing types of partial fractions depending upon the nature of the factors of denominator. Denominator means we are simply say that g of x. Simply say that g of x. So once again the heading is types of partial fractions. The types of partial fractions, we are discussing types of partial fractions depending upon the nature of the factors of denominators యొక్క factors యొక్క nature మీద depend అయితే partial fractions యొక్క types. వీటిలో it has 3 cases. It has 3 cases. We are discussing the first one is case 1. Case 1. What is case 1? What is case 1 is the denominator g of x. The denominator g of x has some factors. Observe the heading. So keep eye on the heading. G of x has non-repeated. What is that? Non-repeated linear factors. Observe that. If g of x is a g of x has factors, we are depending upon the type of depending upon the nature of factors of denominator ki unde factors yokka nature మీద depend అయ్యి ఉన్నాం. వాటిలో 3 cases ఉన్నాయి. And the first case is g of x has non-repeated linear vectors. And the second case is g of x has repeated linear vectors. And the third one is g of x has non-repeated quadratic fractions, quadratic factors. Did you understand the heading? So keep eye on the heading and the case one. If you observe the heading and the case one, you can solve easily. Why? Because we have to observe the nature of the question. Which question is this? Is this linear factors or quadratic factors or something? In these three cases, which case what we have to do? So keep eye on this. Types of partial fractions depend upon the nature of the factors of the denominator. The first case, g of x has the non-repeated linear factors. What is the second case? I told you. Can you? G of x has repeated linear factors. Repeated linear factors. The linear factors are repeating. That means x to the power of minus 1 whole to the power of 6. That means x to the power of minus 1 into x to the power of, x minus 1 whole to the power of 6. That means x minus 1 into x minus 1 into x minus 1 into x minus 1 into 6 times. That is all repeating. The same number x minus 1 is repeating for 6 times. Here, non-repeating. Those are not repeating. These are the linear factors, either 2 or 3 or 4. But those are not repeating. So, how it is, sir? So, observe this. For example, the denominator g of x has a non-repeated linear factors. The denominator g of x has non-repeated linear factors. Those are in the form of linear factors, means we are writing very easily. Those are in the form of ax plus b. This is the general form. This is the general form of a linear factor. That's why I'm writing ax plus b. Don't confuse ax plus b. For example, if you want to divide f of x by g of x is equal. It has so many factors. Those are, the first factor is a1 by ax1 plus b1. ax1 plus b1. And the second factor is a2 by ax2 plus, a1x plus b1, a2x plus b2 plus a3 by a3x plus b3 and so on, an by anx plus bn. If you are confusing about a and capital A small a, capital B small b, you can use different symbols. Here a1, b, a, b, c, d, like this. Okay, so this is f of x by g of x is equal to, this is the one of the factors, one of the fraction. F of a1 by a1x plus b1, a2 by a2x plus b2, a3 by a3x plus b3 and so on, an by anx plus bn. So we have some doubt. What is a1x plus b1? This is the first factor. For example, if g of x has only one factor, you are writing only one term. For example, if g of x has two or three factors, you are writing the first thing and the second step. If it has 3, you are writing 3. If it has 4, if we have only one, writing only one term. For example, g of x has only one factor, x plus 3. So we are writing a by x plus 3. That's it. Only one term. For example, if 2, a by x plus 3, and one more is, for example, x minus 2, b by x minus 2. Okay? This is the method we are learning now. G of x has non-repeated linear factors. G of x key non-repeated linear factors. f of x by g of x is equal to, observe this, a1 by a1x plus b1. a1x plus b1 is one of the factors of g of x. What is a? This capital A1. Capital A1 is a number or a polynomial or a function. a2 by a2x plus b2. This is another factor. a3x plus b3, third factor. For example, 4, a4x plus b4. How many are there? We can write like this. Okay? No.